Since the pandemic, I've helped hundreds of Caribbean students attain a grade 1 in CXC Spanish. And in this video, I'm going to share some secrets that will help you get a grade 1 as well.
Hi everyone, I'm a former student who sat the CXC Spanish examination 2023 for us. I received a grade 1 with straight A profiles thanks to the most humble and determined teacher I've ever encountered.
So, in this video, we're going to be looking at one of the key areas that you could gain marks in your paper 2 exam. That is the written situations or the directed situations. And we're going to look at some of the tips, some of the secrets that you can know, you can have in your arsenal so that you can use and get as much marks as possible. But before we do that, if you haven't subscribed as yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow us on all social media platforms. Let's dive right into the lesson. So first and foremost, key to understanding the situation responses is to recognize what exactly is CSEC or CXC testing to see. Are they testing to see if I know how to welcome somebody in Spanish? Are they testing to see if I know how to express condolences in Spanish? All of these things are what you call language functions. And once you can clearly and correctly communicate in the language, whatever they're testing to see, this is where you get the marks. First and foremost, keep it simple. Many times students look at the number of lines and they think, I need to fill up every single line. That is not so. The lines are there to give you enough space to write. Keep it simple. Do not write more than one sentences. That's one of the instructions that they give at the beginning of the situations. In some instances, more than one sentences are permitted, but only if it's a short sentence. So you may start off with a sentence expressing surprise, que sorpresa, and then you go into whatever the situation is asking. In instances like that, they will allow it. And of course, do not translate. Don't translate and say, I would say, or my mom would say. That is not what you're looking at. So let's go into some sample situations and see how we go about doing this. We're going to look at an excellent example, intermediate example, and a poor example. And let's also see what CXC says about the different examples that students give. So first and foremost, we have the situation that says you're having a birthday party. Write a text message inviting your friend, giving one detail about the birthday party. Couple things we see here. Inviting. CXC is testing to see if you know how to invite someone in Spanish. So they're actually looking for two things here. One, they want to know if you know how to invite somebody in Spanish. And two, they want to know if you could state or give a detail. So here's a response. Te invito a mi fiesta de cumpleaños y tendrá pizza. Person will receive full marks for this, 3 marks. Here the students struck or they adhere to the instructions for the situation, namely they didn't translate, correct language function was used, which is inviting someone, and the grammar, everything was basically appropriate and mostly correct. We see that this could have been expressed better by, instead of using the verb tener, using the verb haber. We get I, there is, or there are. I, there is, or there are comes from the verb haber. So let's see what a better response would look like. It would have looked like, te invito a mi fiesta de cumpleaños y habrá pizza. I'm inviting you to my birthday party and there will be pizza. Given an invite, stating one detail about the party. Now that one detail could have been anything, could have been the time, who will be there, what it will not have. If it's a pool party, what type of clothing, any specific detail you could have included there. But this is just an example. Yeah. Now let's look at another response for the same situation. Now we're looking at an intermediate response. This is an actual student response, by the way, and it said, mi cumpleaños es el 5 de mayo y mi invitado tú en mi cumpleaños y es a las 3. Now, we notice here that the student then mastered the Spanish language as good as the previous example. And one of the things that I didn't mention in the last one is that CXC allows a certain number of errors per situation. from 0 errors up to 3 errors in a sentence or in a situation, as long as it doesn't change the meaning, the errors that you make, as long as it doesn't totally change the meaning of what you're trying to say, you lose no marks. For the intermediate response now, we see where this person had between 4 and 6 errors. As a result, only 1 mark was deducted. So the student stuck to the instructions once again, but there was less proficiency in the way that they expressed things. There were more mistakes in this one. So me invitado, that's not how we invite somebody in Spanish. We can either use te invito a or estás invitado a. And there's some other errors inside there. We won't go through all the errors, but what the situation should have looked like instead is mi cumpleaños es el 5 de mayo a las 3 y estás invitado. My birthday is the 5th of May at 3 and you are invited. That is what the student was trying to express, and this will be more appropriate. And finally, we are looking at a poor response. Same situation, but let's see what happens here. The person says, Buenos días, mi amigos. Estas bienvenidos. Valer la cumpleaños de me que es, etc., etc. This situation response was a bit difficult. We're really not sure exactly everything that the student is trying to say. There was errors in the use of the vocabulary, the sentence structure. Me went with amigos when it should be mis amigos or mi amigo. Bienvenidos instead of using the phrase to invite somebody. There were various errors in here which would have caused that the students make between 7 to 9 errors and 2 out of the 3 marks deducted. So best case scenario, students would have received 1 out of 3 for this. Yeah? These are the type of errors we try not to make. And it's for this reason why I always say, keep it as simple as possible. Learn of the language structures, keep it as simple as possible. Now, if this video was valuable to you and you want to see more like this, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms, and of course share it with somebody else that this might be beneficial to. Yeah? So, look forward for more content. Senior Weeks, Quintessential Language Learning. Adios.